Welcome back to Bear Cave Thoughts, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful week. It is your host, Qbeezy, and let's get right into the topic of discussion today, and that is going to be the 950 power problem. We have a huge problem when we actually get to 950. Let's go ahead and discuss it in this video. So to begin off talking about this problem, leveling from 750 to 900 is ridiculously easy. Even if you're playing yourself better, leveling from 900 to around 950 isn't that difficult at all. Essentially, you're just going to play the game and go after powerful sources from tier 1 to tier 3. Get your characters where they need to be, pass those weapons off from one character to another, and then by the time you know it, you're raid ready and ultimate pinnacle activity in-game ready. However, there is one glaring problem that is staring players in the face. That it is power level 960 and above. So the way Bungie has it structured, some of the most difficult content in the game is sitting at power level 980. However, getting actually to that point within a season is going to be extremely difficult without the artifact enhancing your power level. Now, some of the most hardcore players I've known are already at 960, and that puts them within Delta for most of the very difficult in-game content, such as the Master Nightfalls and things of that such. But for the most regular player, the most Johnny player, I don't really think 960 is going to be a real possibility this season. Because for you to actually get to 960 plus, you're going to have to get such an amount of drops after you hit 950. It's going to have to be 100% to your advantage throughout the entire leveling process. Powerful sources when you hit 950 start to go to +1. You don't get +2 or 3 per drop, and I feel like that was a really big error on Bungie's part. After you hit 950, the game, if you're not the most hardcore player seeking out to get the most most fruitful challenges, it basically tells you that your time's up, you need to come back next season. I believe this is a really bad precedent for Bungie to set, because it's kind of like with the Forges. Players, when they originally did the Forges in Season of the Forge with Ada 1, they were like, man, I gotta go through all these Forges again because that's been established beforehand. So you actually see some people not continuing with their second or third characters having to deal with something like that. And I feel like we're gonna get something like this too in the case of with the power level. I know that Bungie doesn't want a lot of people to actually get that much power throughout the season. Unfortunately, that will leave us in a situation where players they'll just decide, it's like, I don't want to do it. And then you'll see participation for some of those things actually decrease in the future. So what can we actually do about this? First off, I think Bungie needs to make server-side changes 100% to where actually these drops at 950 actually go to +2 or +3. Nothing large, nothing substantial, no +5s or anything, +2 or 3. That'll allow you to make up for certain spots in actual backfill by using activities such as the Menagerie or the focused weapon grind from Ada, or even Eris to be able to get those spots where you don't actually have. Because right now a player's going to get to 950 and they'll be like, wow, this is extremely unrewarding. Why am I going to slog through this? Well, Bungie doesn't really tell you why you should slog through it, because you can actually do the 980 Nightfalls now. You can do the Master Nightmare Hunts. You can do all of these things, but Bungie doesn't explicitly tell you these things. They kind of nudge you in that direction. They kind of nudge you terribly, but they do nudge you in that direction. And because they nudge you in that direction in such an unobvious way, it actually doesn't allow the player to actually understand the true potential of them going after that power. So when the player starts to get those very terrible rewards, those unrewarding rewards, which is kind of ironic in and of itself, the player will stop playing and then they'll transition to something else. If they love PvP, they'll just play PvP. They really won't go after that in-game activity. And then you end up into another problem of fracturing the player base even more. So there's a lot of things that players can actually do within Destiny 2. There's even more things to do now than ever. What do you do when the game becomes more unrewarding? You literally go do whatever you have fun in. And then if you're having fun playing something else, you'll literally go and play a different game. And I doubt that's what Bungie actually wants. I don't really think Bungie has much intentions for getting most people to 950. I would actually be interested to see in the Season of Undying, at the end of it, what is the mode of the player base? What are their power levels? If it's actually going to be like 920, 930, I personally think it's going to be around 9:15. I don't. After the main campaign's over, I don't think most people are going to do much of the campaign or even the raid because that's usually the case. But I'd be very interested to see where the actual amount of players are. So, guys, let me know what you think down below. Do you think that we actually have a problem with 950 plus power? Personally, I do. I would love to see them do something about it because right now we're going to have to require so many perfect drops to even get to 960 without the artifact. So, let me know what you think down below. Peace.